the sleek, diminutive silver box that's become a permanent fixture on my desk. This isn't just a piece of hardware. It's the quiet engine room of my entire professional life. Exactly 1 year ago, the M4 Pro Mac Mini arrived here with sky-high promise to redefine my workflow. For 12 solid, grinding months, it has been the single most crucial tool in my arsenal. Now, if you're like most people, you've been bombarded by the glossy, hyper-edited launch videos. You've devoured initial reviews that slapped a perfect 10 on it. And you probably settled into the comfortable belief that you know this machine inside and out. But trust me, you don't. Because the true unvarnished story of the M4 Pro Mac Mini isn't told in a 5-day hands-on or synthetic benchmark stress test. No, its real character emerges in trenches. The soul-crushing Tuesday when you're wrestling with a 10-minute 8K video render. The desperate late-night rush when you're juggling 50 open browser tabs, 3 complex virtual machines, and a looming deadline. That's the environment where the initial sheen fades, where the subtle flaws Apple will prefer you never notice come to light. And paradoxically, where you discover a truly unprecedented depth of power you never knew you were missing. After 365 days, this isn't merely a hardware review. It's an honest debriefing with a machine that has literally earned me a living. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Despite it being perhaps the most exceptional Mac I've ever owned, I would likely not choose to buy this specific configuration again. Stick with me. By the time this video ends, you'll have the absolute clarity to decide if the M4 Pro Mac Mini is the generational investment you've been waiting for or the most unnecessarily expensive mistake you could make this year. Subscribe for more informative videos, as I work hard to gather useful information for you. In return, you just hit the bell icon button to join the community. Hashtag the M4 Pro, a power user's seductive illusion. Let's cut right to the core, starting where every conversation about a Mac begins. Performance. A year in, the headline remains unshakable. The M4 Pro chip is a verifiable monster. It has completely redefined the power ceiling for a mini PC. I can confidently attest that for 99% of professional-grade workloads, think complex video editing, multi-track audio production, or massive code compilation, this tiny powerhouse delivers the same brutal, efficient speed it did on day one. I've subjected it to a continuous, punishing barrage. DaVinci Resolve timelines choke with 4K and 6K raw footage, Logic Pro sessions so dense they would have instantly paralyzed a mid-range Windows workstation, and yes, even the occasional, much-needed gaming session that Apple finally seems to be getting seriously right. I genuinely can't recall the last time I've been greeted by a spinning beach ball. And the fans? I'm truly convinced they are purely decorative, a nod to the past, because the thermal management here is a masterclass in silent operation. But here's the seductive, costly trap. The illusion that likely led both you and me to impulsively click the buy button for the Pro chip. The uncomfortable truth is this. For the vast majority of users, for nearly all of my own daily bread-and-butter work, the sheer performance ceiling of the standard M4 Mac Mini is so ludicrously high that the Pro model upgrade is, and I don't use this word lightly, overkill. It felt less like a rational, necessary business choice and more like a flexing of financial muscle. I was paying a hefty premium for a feeling of future-proofing that, 12 months later, has yet to be remotely justified by my actual workload. The price gap between the maxed-out standard M4 and the base M4 Pro is where the entire calculus of value falls apart. Hashtag the permanent regret of fixed storage and memory. Which brings us to the two most painful compromises that result from that Pro price jump. Unified memory and internal storage. After one solid year of 4K video projects, managing massive audio sample libraries, and enduring endless application updates, I can now tell you my chosen internal capacity is beginning to actively choke. The low storage warnings are no longer an occasional nuisance. They are a frequent interruption. And every single time I consider the thought of upgrading the internal drive by just one tier, the brutal reality of the inability to upgrade after purchase slams me. The result is a messy, sprawling tangle of external Thunderbolt drives. They are undeniably fast, sure, but they clutter the desktop, demand additional power, and completely annihilate the clean, minimalist aesthetic that the Mac Mini is legendary for. You end up sacrificing the very elegance you paid a premium for, all just to rescue yourself from Apple's frankly extortionate internal SSD pricing. It's a non-stop, frustrating compromise. The unified memory is a different beast entirely. I opted for what most would consider a more than generous amount, but after a year of heavy-duty, real-world multitasking, I've started to see the Mac Mini actively dipping into swap memory more often than is healthy, especially when I'm pushing those final, complex edits. When this happens, the machine is sending you a clear, unambiguous signal. Asterisk, you didn't spec enough. And because it's permanently unified, you are trapped. You're forced to fundamentally alter your workflow. You start compulsively closing apps you don't immediately need. You avoid having two major projects open simultaneously. In short, you are compromising on the pro experience you paid a premium for. The long-term, painful takeaway is this. Apple's hardware philosophy created a buyer's remorse that is permanent. The incredible M4 Pro chip itself will be relevant for a decade. The non-upgradable memory and storage decisions you made a year ago may only carry you for another 24 months. You've been cornered. The breathtakingly fast M4 Pro chip carries a price premium that forces compromises on the two very things you cannot upgrade: unified memory and I/O. But most of the Pro's extra power. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.